It's an immediate defusal and a bit of a blip from Leviathan at a time when they really didn't need that.
I think King was waiting for the signal to go on that flank, and it just didn't come in on time. GE's pace caught them off guard, floating straight back in. Crystal finding two that quickly, got rid of the players who were supposed to stop them from getting near that spike, and then everyone else is too far away from the play. It's a disaster for Leviathan. This pistol could have given them a leg up, but now they are so far behind. And the climb back steep and near impossible if GE keep this up. Double digits found. An aggression again coming in from the defensive side, this time running into all of the Leviathan players for one. And it's a bloodbath with barely any spilled on GE's side.
Oh, they've got to be over the moon. Like, I love the time we'll talk about the risks of pushing, but you could just see the confidence that this team is playing with. Spike under their control, and wow. The best case for King is he drops a gun. That's the absolute best case, but they're now starting to realize, well, that was probably one of the worst case, because now you have a flawless round and you have a run it back going into the next one for Autumn, who's also been having a fantastic series. I want to say as well, he's someone I'm very happy to see back on the international stage. I remember him in MPX being one of my favorite players to watch on that squad. Moving over to GE seemed like a wonderful pickup, and it has been.
It's fair to say, again, taking the consideration of how close that final was for Leviathan over in Americas. Them coming in here, the questions that float around about GE.
Yeah. Do we just give the Paper X the trophy now?
We need to.
if this is the region diff, I think we're in trouble. Nonetheless, for Leviathan, we need to see a little bit more. Let's listen in.
¿Cómo quieres ganar?
Softening, same molly.
Vamos. Ele pode ter ganhado a Blauta.
Tá, posso voltar a dronar, Bruno. Vou voltar a dronar, guys. Olha esse pack de tá?
Vamos finalizar pra ver porque ele reclinaram, tá ligado?
Vou dronar,
Vamos redominar grafite então?
Eu vou dronar e voltar pra ver pegar spike, tá? Vou ter que ir pelo long.
Podemos voltar pra uma split rua se você quiser.
Tá, eu vou ter que ir pelo long.
Não tá muito bom aqui.
Nada longear, Bruno.
Third map, but I think GE is fighting. What do you think, Tom and Mitch?
Oh, well, they weren't fighting in that first map. They were slaying every given opportunity taken, and some with ease. But for GE, that was just the start of the series. Now they have to convert Fracture, their opponent's map pick, and you heard it from Owner. The boys were a bit nervous. It's a young team down on that stage, but we've seen these flip-flops from one-sided maps. A great success in the next. The defensive Fracture is where Leviathan will be tested.
I don't know what they expected coming in. I don't know if they expected a Pac-Man waylay, but I'm excited to see it. Never mind, it's gone. Immediately, Sato has picked him out of the sky. They're going to go running back, but they've been locked in. Spike Zine is watching from behind. Sato already with a much better start to this map than what we saw on the last. This attack side having to run all the way back, maybe trying to bait them into the hands of Autumn, who's just holding on to this space. Nothing being spotted, but that backstab would need to be incredibly impressive if it ends up as a backstab. Is he going to spot out that there's no one here and they're going to go back and plant on A?
I think that's exactly what was happening. They left him behind so he could hear the rotates if they started to flee the site. The spike will go back in that direction. This was what worked for GE on the last map. They were selling fakes so well,
Sato's
always
watching.
Enticing Leviathan in. Crystal's chance to strike. He had such an impressive map previously. They'll at least get one out of this. Good stun to shut him down, but a plant and a 2v4, it's better than it looked like it would be.
It's still incredibly difficult. Lev decided to just group up, play it together. The stun catches Harvey, but he will be better. Will be good to go. As they look to try and round this corner, will they check these more deep angles? They will, and it's Sato once again. A great round from him individually, and now Autumn has to try and take over versus 4 players. Good flash! It caught almost everybody, but 13 health. Time ticking against him. And eventually he's going to need to swing out and get one of these kills. He gets absolutely nothing. A pistol round from Sato, even going to get the orb. And that will be Lev. 101.
Yeah, that will be Lev in the lead for the first time in this series. And what a way to do it as well for Sato. And he's left that way. He's cleared the sight of all attackers. And a flawless pistol round for Leviathan follows.
The saying is you can live to see yourself die alone or something along those lines. My man just didn't die. He just stayed alive at the back. And while absolute destruction in the pistol round, and that was a big part of that previous map as well. The fact that they were able to get those pistols over the line, they were able to put themselves in a position that ended up just closing out the map in very close contention. If you're GE, you probably feel a little bit hard done by. A pistol round genuinely could have made all of the difference. But in this round, it is, again, more of the same. Wanting to get those orbs under their belt, claiming the first early on B, running all the way to the other side to get the second. But with how little is invested here, Mitch, expectations, I would say if they get a kill, they've done well.
Yeah, well, I mean, getting the 2 orbs already is going to be a challenge if Leviathan keep holding the angles they're on. They're ready for the fight up top, but it is only a judge on Spikesine, so he can't really take the fight to them. And in fact, they're going to, although we thought this was a step forward to grab the orb, maybe it will be when the wall goes up. Numbers have started to shift in the other direction. They're even going to get caught by the Prowler on purpose. Yudotan's trying to bait them in, trying to show some presence on this side of the map and step forward, grab the orb, make some noise, let them know that this is the side that they're looking to fight on while the others walk into B, but it's not left open. Leviathan, they're wise to these tricks. They just played 2 maps where GE were doing the same thing, and they won't let them get away with it again. Good work by Neon, and another flawless round for Leviathan. A clean lead built up.
Yeah, exactly what they're looking for. They can come into this next round with rifles across the board, bar a singular judge, which, okay, it's not as strong as it used to be, but I think we've already seen that even going back to map 1, the Neon can still be incredibly strong. Maybe the judge can too. And as their lead builds, it feels like so does that confidence for Leviathan. That first map seeming more like the one. That is just raw individual brilliance coming out from Sato. Again, it's almost like what we were talking about with Autumn, where this guy is seemingly facing into an angle where someone is waiting for him, and he is just landing every single shot. That's going to put him 1 away from his ultimate as well. And as I said, 7-5. Going in with a double duelist comp into the attack. It's not a death sentence. It's just the manner in which this half has gone that has felt a little bit more scary.
Well, yeah, think about even looking at the timeline, what happens if Leviathan don't take the pistol round. We could have seen GE completely run away with this. Remember, it was 2 flawless rounds from Leviathan to start this out. A very different vibe as the rounds have gone on, but it looks like the road to recovery mounted at the last second. Patman much more aggressive this time, and he's got some backup while Autumn walks straight out. The Prowler went past him, flying under the radar, but doesn't strike the death blow. And the trades early on. Leviathan holding on for dear life, but there's a res available. It's going to be put in on the Crystal, but the trades for Leviathan, trying to keep things even. And Spikesine's done a remarkable job. But despite it, they're going to have to fight back into this A site. TP's going to be denied. Plant found, 1 away from a showstopper, and utility online for GE. This is not an easy retake.
That's so annoying, because for Neon now, he's so far away. He was literally on the opposite side of the map. And although his teammate can get through that little bit quicker, he's going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. Autumn's positioning again. He's just been annoying throughout this map, but he doesn't land the shot. The wall bang from Spikesine. This might just be his round. Facing off against Yudotan in that 1v2 clutch. The first, a little bit too easy. Spikesine so far ahead of his teammate, and now just holding that showstopper. The last one was clicked by mistake. This one is clicked to buy time, and that time already seeming like it's too far gone. The nade is perfect, and he's there to close it out in style. A Red Bull clutch gives GE their 8th round.
8-4 at the halftime, a commanding lead for GE. They look so strong down on that stage, and closing it with a Red Bull clutch has got to leave confidence sky high. Mistakes for Leviathan have to be corrected, and they're running out of...
It's perfect that he's there to close it out in style. A Red Bull clutch gives GE their 8th round.
8-4 at the halftime, a commanding lead for GE. They look so strong down on that stage, and closing it with a Red Bull clutch has got to leave confidence sky high. Mistakes for Leviathan have to be corrected, and they're running out of time. Bounce back has to happen after the break. Welcome back, folks. 8-4. It's a big lead for GE, making waves across a very big pond. But for Leviathan, this is where they have to climb back. A great fracture behind them, but I think they'll be keen to forget the first half of split.
Yeah, for sure. It seems like for either side, though, like going into this one, there's real potential with either of the comps. I think for Spike Zine, even though they didn't win that final round, like having that individual step up, Sato we saw in the round before as well, like they are the two that going into this attack half need to step up. And then although Harvey, he had his big moment, I think this Sage is going to be